President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi was sworn into office on the 8th of June 2014. 2 years ago on that day, the event was mainly marked by festivals held nationwide, as well as the president taking oath in the Supreme Constitutional Court. Over the past 2 years, Egypt has completed the political roadmap drawn after 30th of June revolution by carrying out the parliamentary elections and also reinstating the new parliament, the last step towards restoring all elements of the modern state. Egypt also adopted a new approach in its foreign policy and restored its leading regional and international role. In the first 2 years in office, the president launched a number of mega national projects with the aim of improving the country's infrastructure and also serving the low-income earners.
Will increase.
And Egypt's unique character had a direct effect on its foreign relations with the outside world. The country's foreign relations went into a new outstanding and as well as distinctive level since President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi took office. We have more on Egypt's foreign relations with the world in this report.
Outside world. The country's numerous layers did not separate between its various circles of interest and provided an extra value added to its role, both regionally and internationally. Egypt's foreign relations went to a new outstanding and distinguished level since President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi took office. The past 2 years witnessed a number of mutual Arab, African, and international presidential visits, which assert both sides' concerns with supporting joint coordination and cooperation. Now world leaders are keen on ongoing consultation with President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to explore his vision regarding the developments in the Middle East, in addition to other international issues. Their keenness stems from the president's great experience and prominent position on the international arena. Egypt's foreign relations principles include promoting regional and international peace, as well as its goals and strategic interests based on an independent decision-making process. Egypt is closely connected to the Arab world and seeks to achieve the Arab solidarity and unity to enable the Arab countries to gather the resources in order to overcome threats facing them. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has called for the creation of a joint Arab military force. Egypt also gives special attention to the relations with Europe and cooperation with the Mediterranean countries, as the security of both Europe and the Middle East is linked. The Egyptian-European relations are distinguished by depth and strength, with the European appreciation of the Egyptian leading role on the regional and the international levels. The Egyptian-European relations are various, and their cooperation in different fields is one of the best examples of the Egyptian foreign relations. Egypt is also connected to Africa and seeks to improve relations with the Asian countries. Bilateral relations between Egypt and the Asian countries have always been characterized by diversity of cooperation fields. Since President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi took office, the Egyptian-Asian relations were developed to a new level of cooperation, including mutual visits for President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to Russia, China, Japan, and South Korea. Egypt also gives attention to consolidating relations with the major international powers. The strategic benefits of close relations between Egypt and different world countries include establishing strategic partnership, which will pave the way for more projects to develop Egypt as a major country in the Middle East and North Africa.
And we're joined over the phone by His Excellency Ambassador Mohammed Hijazi, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Ambassador Hijazi, happy Ramadan to you, Excellency. And today we are marking President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi 2 years in office. We're talking about the Egyptian foreign policy, and many milestones, many achievements have been there. Serious efforts were already in order to improve Egypt's relations with the different countries. What are those serious efforts, and in your opinion, the most significant ones, Ambassador Hijazi?
Thank you very much, Tagreed, and happy Ramadan too. I think President Sisi and Egypt has truly adopted a proactive, independent, and energetic foreign policy that is based on expanding partnership, as you mentioned in your report, towards Africa for the first time summit-level attendance to all African summits by President Sisi, a very active Egyptian-African policy that has truly reflected itself in many forums. Maybe last month of May, Egypt was presiding the Security Council on behalf of Africa. I'll come to that later, but also a proactive diplomacy toward Asia, Europe, our traditional allies, and also with the U.S., Russia, and even Latin America. We are living in a region that requires a very attentive foreign policy, a new foreign policy which is based on understanding the threats to the region and to maintain our foreign policy independence and to seek peace and security in a very complicated time where the region are facing many conflicts. Egypt's foreign policy during President Sisi's first 2 years was truly trying to achieve peace and stability. His last initiative a few days back when he launched the Masyut, a call for the two parties, the Palestinians and the Israelis, to launch a new peace initiative, and his support also to the French initiative and our so in general, we are following an independent foreign policy.
Right. Excellency. Yes, Excellency, also among the efforts was there to rebuild the strong ties with the African countries. Egypt back to Africa was a very important milestone.
Indeed, Africa is in the heart and mind of President Sisi and Egypt.
Hello? Hello? Excellency Ambassador Higazi, can you hear me, sir? We'll get back to Excellency Ambassador Mohammed Higazi. It seems there is a technical problem. During his 2 years in office, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi accomplished a number of national mega projects to enhance Egypt's economy and restore its economic status on the global horizon. The president launched the new Suez Canal project in August 2014 and set an ambitious target of digging the new canal in 1 year. Despite the tough political and security circumstances, the president officially inaugurated the new Suez Access project on the 6th of August 2015.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi officially inaugurated on the 6th of August 2015 the new Suez Canal as the ships passed through it in a wide-scale ceremony attended by the world leaders. At the celebration of the new Suez Canal inauguration, the president had congratulated the Egyptian people and those who worked in the project. He had announced that the project is the beginning of a number of national projects in transportation, land reform, and aquaculture. Sisi added that the two projects previously announced by the state are set to start soon: the Suez Canal Access Development Project and the new capital city. The Suez Canal New Access is a mega project in Egypt that aims to increase the role of the Suez Canal region in the international trading and to develop the three canal cities, Suez, Ismailia, and Port Said. The project includes the construction of a new...
And for more on the new Suez Canal development project, and we are celebrating 2 years of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in office, 2 years full of accomplishments and more to come, and challenges as well. We have with us over the phone Excellency Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former assistant to the Foreign Minister. Excellency Ambassador Bayoumi, I guess the new Suez Canal development project is considered to be one of the most important milestones achieved.
It is what we call the national project, where it has multi-phases. It is, of course, it is the maritime passage, which is the largest in the world. Once I told you how people responsible for the Panama Canal or the Kiel in Germany were proud when we were asking them questions for the sake of Suez Canal.
Yes.
It generates much more revenue than any canal in the world. then it is not the canal, but the area also, because now we want to enter in a new industry, new old industry, which is building ships or repair ships or supply ships with whatever it needs of energy, fuel, commodities, food, name it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the area will have different ports. One of them will be the huge Damietta port in order to have storage for food in the whole Arab area.
Right.
The fashion now that you do not buy sugar from Brazil or coffee from Argentina, and you get it from there. You get it from stores in Beirut. So
right.
Egypt can play this role because thank God that the location of Egypt, and especially the Suez Canal, is in the middle of everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Third, we shall, of course, enjoy projects in the field of tourism because the place is tremendous concerning the weather. And, of course, it will be a joy if you stay in your hotel and watch the biggest ship in the world crossing the Suez Canal, or you enjoy the weather. I cannot stop counting, and the sky is the limit, as we always say, about a project like that.
Right.
So we wait and see, because some criticism is saying that the revenues is not yet doubled. It will.
Mm-hmm.
But, of course, we are crossing a sort of time where the international trade is not in its best situation.
Right.
But wait and see, we shall come to another much better situation for the Suez Canal and for Egypt.
Right. Opening up with a sense of investment to the whole world, and investment also definitely comes with a sense of security in place. Well, how do you see achievements in the field of Egypt opening up to the world in the field of economic investments?
We were lately with some Asian colleagues from all the Asian countries represented in Cairo in a meeting in the Egyptian Council for Foreign Affairs. And my task was to promote Egypt as a place to come and invest. And I told them Egypt is not the market of 91 million inhabitants now, but Egypt is open for Europe, exempted from any barriers or custom duties. Here you have 500 million. And to the Arab world, the same, 400 million. And to Africa, another 400. So we are talking about a market of more than 1 billion inhabitants. This is the attraction for any investor to come.
Right.
But on the other hand, of course, we have a task in order to make the life of an investor much better and much easier. And we are doing this legally concerning the investment laws and so on. But I must complain, as usual, to you that the mass media in Egypt is not welcoming enough the investors, saying that they are taking our money as if they are coming to give us money, but we need their production, we need them to employ more of our people. And the mass media is doing a negative role concerning attracting investment in our country.
I guess you're not talking about a channel like Nile TV or the official media in that respect, Mr. Ambassador.
Al-Ahram, namely. And the most important columnist is a friend of mine, and I was complaining to him that he has to change this attitude.
So changing concept and showing the world and the whole people mainly achievements taking place on solid grounds. That's the important message in a sense of objectivity and transparency. Excellency Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former assistant to the Foreign Minister, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And in the first 2 years of the President's term in office, a number of national projects were launched with the main aim of improving the country's infrastructure and also serving the low-income earners. The reclamation of the 1.5 million faddans was one of those mega national projects. Details.
In a serious step towards the restoration of Egypt's status as a major agricultural state and achieve self-sufficiency from crops, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi launched from Farafra in December 2015 the 1.5 million Fadan project, one of the mega national projects. Out of the total 1.5 million Fadan, the project in Farafra covers 280,000 Fadans. In May 2016, President el-Sisi celebrated the harvest of 10,000 wheat fidans in the southwest El-Wadi Gadid, or the New Valley Governorate, as part of a national project to expand the country's farmland by reclaiming 1.5 million fidans nationwide. The project, which aims at achieving sustainable development, is a model for the modern Egyptian countryside that will include a series of villages addressing the problems of the past and invest the present elements. It is implemented in accordance with the plans and scientific studies so that together constitute the integrated urban communities. Besides agricultural activity, it will be associated with food products, packaging, production of oil and other industries, in addition to providing housing units and all the necessary facilities and the provision of health and education services to establish an integrated residential community that attracts residents. In November, the Cabinet approved the establishment of a company with a capital of £15 billion to manage the mega project. The Egyptian Rural Development Company was established with the contribution of the New Urban Communities Authority, the General Authority for Rehabilitation Projects and Agricultural Development, as well as the Ministry of Finance. The 1.5 million Fadan project aims at filling the food gap, rationalizing food imports, and setting up new agricultural communities that provide thousands of jobs to young people. Under the project, new communities are created in a number of governorates, especially the Upper Egyptian ones. The project helps in redistributing the population and coping with population growth for the coming 14 years, expected at 40 million. It is launching a point for getting out of the narrow Nile Valley. More than 90 million Egyptians live on only 7% of the country's 1 million square kilometer land mass. The project will expand Egypt's prospective agricultural land by 20% from 8 million to 9.5 million fadans. It includes digging over 5,000 water wells for a total cost of 6 billion Egyptian pounds. Egypt has 8 billion cubic meters of well water, of which the project will need around 2 billion cubic meters. About 11.5% of the 1.5 million Fadan project depends on surface and recycled water, whilst the rest of the underground water. The project is dependent on renewable energy such as solar energy. During the inauguration of the project, the President said that the possession of land will be made easier with direct ownership contracts to avert the state's normal bureaucracy. He added that the state has prepared the total size of the land, taking into account utilities and services that the people will need. The government and banks will also provide them with credit facilities with interest rates below 6%.
And after 3 years of unrest that followed the 2011 revolution, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi's election was viewed as an opportunity to strengthen Egypt's deteriorating economy. The president's immediate decision to sign several mega projects as the new administrative capital was a successful element to make the ordinary citizen feel the impact of those projects on the state economy. Details. and development. A program that takes you to explore investment opportunities in different sectors. Projects that attract billions of dollars of investment. Egyptians are given a chance to develop. Join us in taking a message of peace and development from Egypt to the world. Egypt is on a new track. On our own, we glitter. Together, we shine. More news on Panorama News. The cabinet headed by Prime Minister Sharif Ismail held its weekly meeting Wednesday, where the ministers discussed a number of political and economic files in addition to the security situation in the country. They also looked into reports on the implementation of the ongoing mega national projects. Ministers discussed measures taken to improve services provided for citizens and providing basic commodities in low prices during the holy month of Ramadan. The cabinet probed measures to improve the atmosphere for investors and deal with the budget deficit and high rates of the foreign currency, as well as achieving social justice. And more, an Egyptair aircraft resumed its flight to Beijing after being forced to make an emergency landing Wednesday in Uzbekistan following a false bomb threat. The false bomb threat forced the aircraft en route to Beijing from Cairo to make the emergency landing. The plane, an Airbus, landed at the airport in the town of Urgench, about 840 kilometers west of the Uzbek capital, Tashkent, 3 hours after it took from Cairo. All 135 passengers and crew on board were evacuated and the aircraft was searched. Officials said that the search proved that there was no bomb or any other suspicious object on board. Officials said that an anonymous caller telephoned the security agents at the Cairo airport to say that a bomb was on board the flight. The agents immediately contacted the aircraft and ordered it to land at the nearest airport. Thousands of civilians have fled a stronghold of Daesh terrorist group in northern Syria, almost surrounded by the US-backed fighters seeking to cut a key supply lifeline for the militants. The offensive on the town of Manbij